Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd do another run of Isaac. I've been kind of getting into this game a bit more because honestly I'm not gaming as much in the last few weeks. And this is a very good game to just play one run of like under an hour, and that satisfies my needs. And I'm kind of getting, I feel like I don't have many games that I enjoy these days. Anyway, let's play as Lazarus. First pill is a lock up. Friends till the end. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'm slowly outgrowing gaming in general. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. I played Jedi Survivor finally. That was my main game for the last, month or so. It's a good game. I'd almost say very good, but I had some frustrations, which I won't go into too much because I'll do a terrible job of explaining myself. This time I feel like I made the right decision right out the gate to start on easy mode, or Padawan mode as they call it. I thought there was a chest somewhere. I mean, another chest. Terrible. Yeah, so I started on easy because in the first game, Fallen Order, I started on normal as I usually do. But I think the very last boss fight, I had to change it to easy at least. Maybe even to story mode if I recall correctly. Because it was just too difficult and frustrating and ruining my day. I feel like I'm getting to that point in life where it's just not worth it anymore to struggle too much in games. I don't know why that is. Probably just a shift in focus or like priorities. I still love gaming. I think I always will. But it was happening a bit too often that I was raging pretty badly. And I don't know, I just realized that, I mean, how to explain this? I realized that it's just not worth getting this worked up over a game. No controllers were harmed in the process, but yeah, just it's such a more pleasant experience to play games on an easier mode and enjoy the ride without as much of the challenge and headache. Which begs the question if I will ever finish or if I will ever get back into Elden Ring. Because that might be the most rage-inducing game I own. In fairness, so was Isaac for a long time. So was Hollow Knight at some point, and probably others. I usually wouldn't take this item, I forget the name, but today I won't. I was not trying to tease or whatever, just seriously had to think for a second. All this being said, even on easy mode in Jedi Survivor, I still struggled quite a bit with some parts of the game. Which I suppose I could blame on bad balancing or whatever, just unfair game design. But I guess I'm just not that good at games. With some exceptions. If I find 2 more coins, or if I blow up the donation machine, I would like to get Hive Mind. I'm doing a terrible job at finding the secret rooms. It's pretty good. School bag. Send back to the shop for that item before I forget. It's a bit of an investment. It won't do me any good if I don't end up with one or a few items that spawn flies or spiders. But there's a real chance I will, so. Trying to think what else I've been playing lately. It's really not that much. Session is still kind of a go-to for a quick session, no pun intended. And I really think that's about it. It's kind of sobering, I suppose. I forget how long it's been since I made a video, but there was also Lego Harry Potter. Which I started with Anna a few years ago by now. But I think we got to year... Whoops. I think we started year 5. And then we just stopped playing. Oh no. Kind of upset about that. I've been completing that, or I have completed that whole series. And I got 100% in all the years because it's a fun game to just collect stuff in. I do also have a bunch of other Lego games. Star Wars, DC villains, both superheroes, I mean Marvel superheroes, and Avengers. I think I have Avengers, I'm not 100% sure. And The Hobbit, which I also used to play with Anna, but once again stopped. And she asked me not to play that without her, so... I guess that means that she still wants to play it, she just never does. Before I forget to mention it, I think there weren't any more updates about the third cat we had for 2 weeks, I think. Maybe even less than 2 weeks. But yeah, to recap very briefly, we were hearing, mostly Anna was hearing a lot of meowing from next door. Which sounded like a cat in distress. And in fact, from our bathroom window we can see over the neighbor's wall. And there was in fact a young cat outside most of the time. And it's a small space. Like, it's hard to estimate, but I'd say like a, I don't know, 4x4 meter space. So like a small room essentially. Part of it covered, most of it not covered. And I mean, this sounds like we're constantly spying on them, but there's usually like, a bunch of stuff, clothes hanging out to dry, buckets of paint, piles of bricks, just, like a semi-construction site slash outdoor storage place. So not ideal for a cat to live in. Not to mention it was raining pretty often that time. I mean that period. So yeah, Anna was unhappy for a few weeks because of that meowing. She's very sensitive to it, and she loves cats. So I mean, she loves most animals. But yeah, her heart was very much aching. So we went to knock on their door once to ask if they knew that there was a cat in their, courtyard space, whatever you call it. They said they knew they had 2 young cats, but they had difficulties, I suppose, with one of them, and they couldn't keep it inside most of the time because of whatever excuses. I think they said it wasn't house trained, or it didn't use its box, which is why they had to keep it outside, and some other excuse about their children or something. I don't know. Their Dutch isn't great, so I didn't understand all of it. And I'm not really one to prod and I'm not confrontational. But the meowing continued, and it was still affecting Anna. Also because from where we sit in the living room, we're very close to the back of the house. We're at the back of the house. So it's always within earshot of that cat. Limonka decided to join me just now. So yeah, there were real plans to break him out. Of course, we wouldn't seriously do that, but Anna definitely wanted to. And then one day the neighbors were all outside for some reason on the street. And Anna decided to go outside and talk to them, just to ask if there was anything she could do. If they wanted her to, or if they wanted us to take in that cat and find it a new home or something, or just get it off their hands. Then all they had to do was ask, and then apparently I wasn't there, but the lady of the house. Wait, I have to decide which items to get. I suppose habit, and I kind of want all 3 of these, but I shouldn't. Get the 9 volt and we're done. So yeah, when Anna said that, apparently the lady of the house was immediately enthusiastic and she went to get the little dude and just handed him over to her. So yeah, it was kind of a bit sad and a bit sketchy. But the plan was never, I mean, at that point the plan was not to keep him, the plan was to actually find him a new home, just put him on Facebook, and after meeting with whoever was interested, we would decide if we would give him away to someone. Apologies, there was a brief interruption and now I'm about to die. And I lost my train of thought. Right, so the plan was not to keep him, but as soon as we took him in, he started to snuggle with us on the couch and being all cutesy. So we, within a few hours or so, both of us, or neither of us, really wanted to give him away just like that. And we wanted to give it a shot to keep him, see how it went with our current 2 cats. And so we had him for, I forget how long exactly, but I think it was just under 2 weeks. The problem was that he was a very young cat, 3 or 4 months. He hadn't gone to the vet yet at all. So he wasn't neutered, he wasn't treated for worms or ticks or any of the basic cat requirements. That was one thing, but probably the smallest factor, really. The main issues were that the house is really just a bit too small for 3 cats. It's not a small house per se, like just an average attached house. I think if I should keep the placebo or the monster manual, but yeah. So yeah, the house is a decent size, but we have too much stuff. Anna likes to craft and has gotten into laser engraving pretty seriously, like with the intention to start selling stuff. Which, I mean, that requires materials, and she doesn't really have a workshop as such yet. So most of it is kept in the living room, which was pretty full anyway. I have my recording space / office, which is a bit crowded, and just in truth, the general house is kind of a mess. We're not good at keeping things tidy. It's clean, but just pretty chaotic. And yeah, a third cat was just a bit much. Also, with him being a very young cat, he was very energetic and playful, which is mostly fun during the day. Much less fun at night. Especially because he was biting all kinds of stuff, like biting cables on my desk, and the cables with what am I trying to say? The cables of my recording gear and guitar cables, instrument cables, power cables, HDMI cables, really anything cable shaped. Being playful in bed and attacking our feet in the middle of the night through the sheets, and just cute things that get annoying pretty fast, and we just couldn't really deal with it, especially me. I was a bit more tolerant, but I think for the better part of a week she slept on the couch, because then he would stay downstairs with her and not keep me awake as much, which helps, of course, but it wasn't sustainable. On the plus side, I realize this story is getting way too long. I'm not a good storyteller as is, and if you add trying to focus on a game to the mix, then yeah, I think you can see the issue. But yeah, on the plus side is house training was surprisingly easy, to the point where what the neighbors told us kind of sounded like BS right away. Because they claimed that he wouldn't use a box. And Anna got him to use his box literally within a day. I don't know if it was a technique thing or he was just naturally smart about it. Pretty close call. Yeah, so he did his business outside once. Sorry if this is TMI, but I know very little about training animals, but I do know that a good technique to train or to house train a cat is to, if he does his business outside of the box, then you should put it in the box so the smell is where it should be. And from what I understand, usually they get it pretty quickly, that that's where they're supposed to go. And it seemed to help for Biszkopczyk, as we called him. Which is like, Biszkopt is Polish for sponge cake. Anna chooses our pets' names. Not by design, she just comes up with a name first, and I'm not really picky about those things. So, yeah. Another plus was that he seemed to be getting along pretty well with Rucola, our youngest other cat, who is, I think, 4.5 now. Limonka didn't like him, but she doesn't like any other animals, so that was not a surprise. But towards the end, I mean, the end sounds too dramatic, but towards the end of the time that we had him, there seemed to be some playful interaction with Rucola, at least. So it was a bit sad for her that he would go away. But long story short, Anna found a Polish family on Facebook who had or have a very old cat, I think like 16 or 15 years. The mother of that family came to visit him, or what was supposed to be just a visit, just to check him out, and so we could meet her and like try to judge for ourselves if it would be okay with giving him to her, which we did. I mean, Anna had a very good feeling about that family, even from the messages. And when the lady was here, it was, just a confirmation that he would be much better off there than with us. So while she was here, she started saying that it would be a fun surprise for their daughter if she would come home with a new cat that evening, because the plan was to just come and see him. So with quite a bit of heartache, we handed him over and let that lady take him home with her, which was very difficult. Like, tears were shed. Because I kind of felt like we failed him because we couldn't take care of him the way he needed and the way he deserved, really. I think from my side that was like the main reason why it was so emotional. It was kind of a selfish reason if I think about it, because I wasn't really sad for him. I knew he would be better off. We went to visit him and, them last weekend, I think. Because, well, the lady, because there was no plan to take him with her when she came over, she didn't have a box or a carrier. Wait, let me check. I don't have Sheol yet, so might as well. So she had to she had to take him in our carrier, which we had to go and reclaim. So last weekend we went over to them to check and just visit him for a final visit. That's an excellent sentence. I'm gonna die. But not yet. It was good to see him, but honestly, by the time we went, I didn't really feel like I needed to see him necessarily. I guess I had processed the sadness. But it was nice to see him, even though I kind of doubt he cared much about us. And also their daughter was taking him from us. Not sure why, maybe to show us how much she loved him and stuff. It was kind of annoying, but there's not much you can say. So all in all, a very happy ending. I'm not gonna start talking about anything else because, I mean, anything major, because the run is running to a close, most likely. And not a happy one. Wasn't, well, it wasn't that good of a run, really. Pretty mediocre items. No cool synergies. Could use full health and maybe a blue or black heart or two. I shouldn't have picked it up yet, because now I will lose it before I get to Satan. Okay. It's looking pretty promising, actually. I can get full health here. Should be able to get past Satan. Explosivo is doing a lot of good work. Oops. Oh, come on. Okay, nice. Broken Ankh achievement. If there's one more guppy item here, I'm gonna be slightly upset because I probably wouldn't have been able to get both of them. I could still take Guppy's paw. Because then I can do this. That probably won't help me in the long run. I don't like these dark rooms. Sure, Mr. Mega. telling myself it's already a win because I got the Satan post-it thing. But still, of course, I would like to get the lamb as well. Whoops. Oh. This might be the end. This might be the end. No. Okay, either I try to do more of the floor to get more health, or I have to use the paw now. I mean, once I enter. I think I should be okay. Don't like when he charges. Okay, nice. Oh, thought I was done. No victory lap, thank you. Pandora's box, okay. Surprisingly, a successful run. On a last side note, I'm trying to figure out the game over screen music on piano. It's been my alarm tone for many years now. But I never thought to try and learn it. Okay, on that random note, again, no pun intended, thank you for watching. Have a good night if you're about to fall asleep. Take care of yourself, and I will talk to you next time. Bye bye.